What's going on, guys? Chris here with Android Forums. We're going to be doing a deep dive into the settings on the Google Pixel 2 XL and just sort of give you a better grasp on what's going on with the device and show you exactly what each of all these little sections and categories do. So first off, you have your network and internet settings. This is where you're going to find and configure your Wi-Fi settings. Going in there, you can see all the different Wi-Fi networks and connect to those. Your mobile network, which is your settings for roaming. Your preferred network type, if maybe you don't want to use LTE, you can use 3G, enhanced 4G, you can see your carrier. You can also edit your APN settings through here and choose a different network operator, but generally speaking, you pop in your SIM, all that stuff is configured automatically. Data usage will show you exactly how much mobile data that your phone has been using, and you can sort of even cap it or set a data usage warning at a specific amount if you do have one. There's also the ability to change your billing cycle if you want to kind of coincide with your own carrier billing timing. And it's all that information as well, and it shows you exactly how much you've been using. Data saver will allow you to restrict data for specific apps if you want to. Maybe WhatsApp or something is using a lot of data in the background, and you can turn that off so that when you go out, you're not going to be sucking up all your data usage. Hotspot and tethering is basically your hotspot and tethering. This allows you to connect another, like your computer or something, to your the data connection, your cellular data connection on your phone. And you can set this up as a portable Wi-Fi hotspot. Turn that on. You can connect or tether via Bluetooth if you wanted, and then you can also set up all the settings and maybe alter the password if you would like right there inside the setup hotspot. VPN allows you to configure and add VPN settings. And then you have your airplane mode here as well. Moving on, you have your connected devices. This is going to show you things like your Bluetooth, your Chromecast settings, or your Google Cast settings, NFC, which is the near field communication chip that's in the back of the phone. This allows you to use contactless payments, or tap to pay, or Android Pay, all those types of things. And it also allows you to do Android Beam as well, which you can join two devices in the back and send photos to each other. And it's already ready to transmit via NFC. Your USB status, and then also your printing if you have wireless printers on your Wi-Fi network. Apps and notifications. This is going to find tons of information about apps and notifications on your device. These are your most recent apps. You can see all of them by clicking all 178 apps there. If we go ahead and tap one of these, like let's go in here, we can go to 7-Eleven. You can see there's tons of information about these apps. You can uninstall them, you can force stop them if they're behaving erratically. You can configure notifications specifically for this app. You can also grant or deny permissions, the camera location, things like that. If you really wanted to see how much storage is being used, you can also clear data if you don't want to uninstall the app, but you want to start it over and start fresh, maybe clear out an account or something. You can clear data and then it'll clear the cache as well. And basically start the app off as if you just installed it. Data usage, how much battery it's been using since your last charge. The defaults that you use to open that app. So if maybe it's a browser and you chose the Chrome browser as your default, you can adjust that there. How much RAM it's been using. I haven't even opened this app, so it's not using any. Some more app details from the Google Play Store and then the version number of said app. Let's just go back. Shows some reset app preferences. If you want to, you can reset your app preferences here as well. So if there's too many weird stuff going on and apps open automatically whenever you click a link or tap a phone number, you can go into here and reset all those as well. So down here at the bottom you can see notifications. This is sort of your it's a system-wide controls basically for all the apps on your device, so you can just sort of set these and sort of turn those off. I don't like notification dots, so I turn those off. You can turn on your LED lights if you would like. A lot of people like LED light notifications whenever they receive a notification. On a lock screen, you can have it so you can show all notification content or none at all. Let's just keep moving on, and then swipe fingerprint for notifications. If you want, you can use the fingerprint sensor by swiping down. It'll open up your notifications if maybe you can't reach with your thumb. I don't really like that feature, so I'm going to leave it off. App permissions is basically what I showed you before, but this just shows you all the apps that are using specific permissions on your device. So if there's something you really want to see what is using the camera on your phone, you can come in here, tap that, and see all the different apps that are using that specific permission. Advanced is going to show you Even more stuff, your default apps for very specific core things like the browser, home, phone app, SMS app, tap to pay, and then opening links. Emergency broadcasts, which these are just sort of like those Amber Alerts and stuff that pop up on your phone, or disaster alerts. And then special app access. This will show you a little more detailed information as far as like battery optimization. These are the ones that are excluded from Android's Doze feature. And then which apps are allowed to display over other apps. I mean, it kind of goes in pretty in depth here. The picture-in-picture mode, if maybe you don't like picture-in-picture mode on something like maybe Google Maps, which I don't like, you can come in here and you can turn off picture-in-picture for that. And then all kinds of other stuff, unrestricted data, usage access, and then the ability to install unknown apps is also in here. So this is if you were to download an application from, say, the internet, or from Google Drive, or from Facebook or Gmail. If someone sends you an application, you want to be able to install it by bypassing the Google Play Store. This is why you would do it, and you would have to allow it with that specific app. And that's that. Let's go back. Under battery, you find tons of battery information here, and it's all pretty laid out here without having to dive too much into it. But if you want to see maybe like a line graph, you can go in here and see. It shows you how many hours it's been since your last charge, how many predicted hours you have left, and it gives you a breakdown of what's using the battery on your phone. So your apps have been using 48%, or my apps have. The system has only been using 13 in phone, idle, mobile networks, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and all that stuff. And this also gives you the information here. Last full charge, that's how long it's been since the phone has been unplugged. Screen usage time is how long I've actually been using the phone with the phone, the screen on, and it's been 4 hours, actually pretty dang good. Battery saver mode allows you to configure battery saver settings, which you can have it turn on automatically, and this will restrict performance. It limits vibration, location services, turns those off, background data, and all this other stuff it'll turn off to kind of save as much battery as possible. It pretty much just keeps your phone in a very dumb phone state, so only phone calls and SMS messages can come through, but that saves a ton of battery. Here you can turn on your battery percentage up there in the status bar. You have adaptive brightness, so this will adjust the brightness according to the ambient light in the room. Your sleep activity, so this is how long your display goes to sleep after you haven't touched it. Ambient display, this is your always on display, so when you turn off the display and it shows the clock and notifications, you can have that on or turn it off if you'd like. Double tap to wake your phone to check for notifications if you want. And then whenever new notifications come in, they light up your screen. You can have that turn that on or off if you don't want that. You maybe want a little more privacy as far as that's concerned. And then here at the very bottom, you see all the apps in order according to how much battery they've used. Usually the ones here at the top you can see are the ones you use the most. I use Twitter a lot, so I use 12% of my battery. Pixel Launcher 8, 7. Those are all apps I use a lot. If there's an app here at the top of the list that you haven't opened in a couple days, maybe even a day, and it's still up there at the top of the list, it's probably doing something weird, and I'd recommend uninstalling it just to kind of, until maybe the developer updates and fixes it. Here you have your display settings, so this is your brightness level, you can configure that, which you can also just find in your drop-down notification shade. Night light, this will allow you to filter out the blue light on your device. So you can see here it turns more of a yellow, which will help you, it helps your brain fall asleep a little bit easier at night because it filters out the harsh blue light and kind of simulates more of a softer incandescent lighting like the lights in your home. And you can adjust the intensity there as well if you'd like. And then you can also schedule it so it just comes on automatically. Wallpaper, you can configure wallpaper. Under advanced settings, you're going to find, again, your sleep, how quickly your display sleeps, auto rotation, vivid colors, which boosts the saturation of colors by 10%. It's actually not very much on the Pixel 2 XL. The font size, the display size, the font size is the letters and how big they are. Display size is the general UI, all the buttons and arrows and stuff, and how big or small you want those to appear. Screensaver is an interesting function, so you can have that start. Basically, you can choose different applications to sort of use for that, and it's kind of like a screensaver on your computer, except it only starts under specific conditions, whether it's while your phone's docked, while it's docked and charging, or just when it's charging. I just have it turned off, so I don't have to worry about it. Ambient display, again, and then when your device is in VR mode, you can have it for reducing blur, reducing flicker. And that's display. Let's go into sound. You have all your volume settings for media, alarm, and ring volume. Then you can also set it so it vibrates for when you receive calls. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off just because I don't know when it does that. Do not disturb preferences. This is so do not disturb mode will come on. at specific times, or you can turn it on manually. You can set up schedules for that, so it just comes on every night between 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. so that no one disturbs you at night. And then you can even have it block visual disturbances, which are little pop-ups that show up when you get a notification. And then you can also set priority mode for do not disturb, and this allows certain things to still come through while in do not disturb mode. So that's reminders, alarms, and repeat callers. So if someone calls once, it's not going to make a sound, but if someone calls again twice, it's probably an emergency, and it's going to allow my phone to wake me up. Phone ringtone, you can change your ringtone through here. That's when someone makes a phone call. And then under advanced, you find more stuff like your default notification sound, default alarm sound for your alarm, dial pad tones, all these different noises that your phone can make. Emergency broadcasts, and now playing. This is the now playing new feature for Pixel 2 XL, which basically your phone always is listening to the music being played around you. So even when your phone is locked and just on a desk or table somewhere, it's constantly listening for stuff so that you can quickly just look at your lock screen, or if you want to, and see what music is being played if you're into that. So. Under storage, you're going to find tons of storage information here. So you can see here how much storage is being used out of how much I have free. 31% is being used. Smart storage is an interesting feature which will take all the photos and videos that you already have backed up to Google Photos, and after 60 days, if you haven't opened them or checked them out, it's going to delete them from your device, but only because they're already backed up safely to the cloud. So that's actually a pretty nice little feature there. And then you can kind of see a breakdown of what's being used, how much photos and videos is taken up on your device, how much apps, or just how much games are, how much music is stored on your device, other apps. You can even go into the file system here, which open up a file browser, and you can go into all the different folders that are stored on your phone and kind of mess around and do stuff with that, which is actually a new feature on iOS. And then your system down here is just how much the Android OS is using up, which is actually pretty big. It's 9.7, so that's just Android 8.0 Oreo for you. Moving on, you have security and location. There's tons of settings here. Google Play Protect, which is kind of like Google's new antivirus software for Android. It's built into it. Checks all your apps out. You can see here it's just did a scan not too long ago, found no harmful apps installed. And then you can sort of improve detection by sending stuff to Google and all that fun stuff. Find My Device. This is allows you to locate your Android device, your phone. If you misplace it or lose it somewhere, leave it somewhere, you can find it remotely using either your computer or someone else's Android device and logging into your account through there. And then this part here allows you to change the password on it, and then if you want to, completely erase it and factory reset it. So if you have very sensitive information on your phone, you can do that remotely. You don't have to physically have the device to do that, so you can enable that as well. This will show you the last security update, which was in September 5th. Screen lock, this allows you to choose the type of screen lock you have on your phone. There's pattern lock, there's pin unlock, there's password unlock. And yeah, you can choose between those, or just swipe to unlock, or just no lock screen at all. Just bypass the lock screen whenever you tap the unlock button. Lock screen preferences, this allows you to see the preferences for the notifications on your lock screen. And some of that stuff. You could also hide now playing if you don't want it to show up on a lock screen. Your location, smart lock. Almost didn't see that. Or pixel imprint. Let's go to that. So pixel imprint is just the fingerprint scanner. This allows you to see which fingerprints you've scanned, and it allows you to add more of them and kind of configure those as well. And by tapping it, you can see exactly which finger is being used under here, and you can delete and remove them if necessary just by tapping it. You can name them, you can delete them, do whatever you like. Smart lock is an interesting feature, and this basically allows you to keep your phone unlocked during specific times. Whether it's on your body, it'll stay unlocked, but as soon as you set it down and it doesn't move for like a few seconds, it's going to lock itself. You have it unlocked when you're in trusted places, like specific locations, maybe your home. You have a no phone locked policy or unlocked phone policy where everyone's phones have to be unlocked. You can also have it so that it's unlocked when it's connected to your specific Bluetooth devices, maybe like a speaker, your car stereo, or even like a smartwatch. You can also set up a trusted face, which is facial recognition, or even a trusted voice that it'll unlock when, by the sound of your voice specifically. You also have your location preferences here. I always keep it on high accuracy, of course, because it works better that way for Google Maps and all that fun stuff. Show password as you type. Device admin apps, you have your SIM card lock. You can lock your SIM card with a PIN. So if someone takes your SIM card out and puts it on their phone, it's going to require a PIN in order to be functional. Your encryption and credentials. your trust agents, and then screen pinning. This is actually a pretty neat one. So screen pinning allows you to pin somebody down to, by clicking this little pin button here. So once it's enabled, you can have it pin somebody down to one specific application, and they'll need an unlock pattern before they can unpin it. This is helpful if you want to lock a kid down to maybe a game, or someone needs to use your phone for a phone call. You can lock them down to just that specific app, and they don't, go rummaging through your phone and go in places where they don't need to be. User accounts will show all the different user accounts that are on your phone. You can add additional ones here. You can see emergency information, automatically syncing background data, and then you can also have it so you can add users from the lock screen. Users, which is here at the top, are basically, you can add a guest, which will basically create a phone inside of your phone, a completely fresh phone, or you can add a user. So maybe you have a kid who is only allowed to use your phone when you're around, and you can have them set up their own little space inside of your device for messaging and games and whatnot. Accessibility, these are all your accessibility settings. So people that have maybe a little bit hard of seeing or hard of hearing, this is where you're going to go to find that. Colorblind stuff and all this fun, neat things. Google, this is all your Google settings. So there's tons of stuff in there to play around with, basically from the Google app, but it's just located right here in settings. You also have your system information. You can change your language, input gestures, virtual keyboard, physical keyboard when you connect one of those. And then you also have spell checker, autofill, active edge, which is the squeezy thing. You can turn that off if you'd like, or you can sort of adjust the sensitivity of it. You can have it squeeze for assistant. You can also allow it when the screen is off, or squeeze to silence incoming calls. Pretty neat. Swipe up fingerprint for notifications, or swipe fingerprint. So this is the notification sensor, or the fingerprint sensor. You can swipe it down to pull down your notifications if you'd like. Double tap to check your phone, all that fun stuff. Jump to camera, which is double tap on the power button, and then flip. You can twist to switch between selfie mode or the front-facing camera and the rear-facing camera if you'd like, and then pointer speed, text-to-speech input, that sort of thing. Date and time, that's your date and time settings. Your backup, this is all the stuff that you have backed up to your Google Drive account or your Google account. Developer options, there's something you can enable by clicking, it's kind of a secret, but you can speed up the UI by going into developer options. System updates, this is how you check for a system update, and you go ahead and go there and click that. And then it'll show you the last time, and if you have an update available, last time you checked for one. And then you have your about phone. Just go into that real quick. It'll show all the information on your device, the software it's running. You can even check for your phone status, which is like your phone number. And you can even sort of check your IMEI information. So a lot of times when you send your device back, or you're getting your phone repaired, or support of some kind, they want to check your IMEI, and that's unique to this specific device. You're going to click on that, and it's going to show you your IMEI information. I don't want to show that on camera, so we're not. And then finally, you have reset. So this is how you're going to factory reset your device. You basically go into reset. You can just reset only the network settings. So maybe if you messed up something in your APN settings, maybe you messed up a lot of Wi-Fi stuff, who knows? You can just factory reset all the network stuff. You can factory reset all the app preferences. Not factory, but just reset those back to how they were when you first got the phone. And then there's factory data reset. So this is wiping your device completely of all pictures, photos, apps, all information on your phone. It's going to be just like it was when it came out of the factory. And you just go ahead and click that. It's going to remove all these accounts and all that information and completely wipe it clean. So that has been a deep dive into the settings on the Pixel 2 XL. I hope this was informative to you, and hopefully it helps you get a little better grasp of sort of all the functions and stuff that you can do with your device. There's also a search if you want to just tap something and search for a specific setting as well, which happens to work pretty well. Oh, and there's support and tips. You can go at the very bottom option. This is how you get support, either through like frequently asked questions and guides and stuff, or you can chat directly with someone at Google or call them, Google support if you bought your phone through Google, and you can do that through there. So pretty helpful, pretty neat stuff. I hope it was just informative to you, and I guess that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Chris with Android Forums. Thanks for watching.